This video is rated TV 16, has some harsh language which may not be appropriate for younger audiences. Viewer discretion is advised. All right, guys. Heavy Metal Explosion coming at you with another discussion piece. And this here is Starscream from Siege. I like to tell you that this is the figure I'm going to be discussing, but it's not. The figure I'm going to be discussing and comparing is this guy here, Redwing. There's a couple things right now that I will say that is a little bit of a bothersome, which leads me to believe that this figure was not first produced. It wasn't even probably second produced in the line. It might have been third or fourth produced within the using this Siege Tetrajet mode. And what I mean by that is that we already know we have Starscream. We have Thundercracker coming out either July or August. And we have Skywarp that's getting ready to come out probably around August, maybe September. And I just happened to get my hands on this guy from Gaming Toys. Nice guy. Deals with you, answers your questions one-on-one every time you turn around if you have an issue. This figure took several weeks to get here, and it just didn't show up on my on the posting shipping confirmation line. So I had no idea when this guy was going to get here, and he got here just yesterday. Yesterday he got here. I have to say, I mean, I like this figure. I'll see if I can zoom in and get a shot, not of his chest, but of that head sculpt. And that's an interesting head sculpt there. I think I had a Skywarp, or I did have a Skywarp at one point of from the Masterpiece line. One of them that before they improved the sculpt a little bit, and I want to say he had that smirk on him, so maybe that'll be a smirk that will follow along with either Skywarp or Thundercracker or something to that effect. I don't know, but we'll see. There's been plenty of reviews over here having to deal with Starscream, so I'm not really going to get into a transformation ordeal, but I will have to say that the reason why I said this is probably fourth in line, third or fourth in line of the manufacturing process, because these guns, this one's a little bit tighter than the other, but this one here, there's nothing holding that in there. So at some point I'm going to have to probably thicken that peg hole in order to get that weapon to stay in his shoulder. But you know, Starscreams, they're not loose. they're not overly tight, but they're not loose. So I wanted to kind of, while they're in rowboat mode, to kind of put something out there that, for me is disconcerting, mainly because of the size, not because of these guys' size, but because of the leader class size. And I don't have a leader class from the Siege yet, so I can't really. Oh yeah, I do. I've got what I got Ultra Magnus and Skywarp. Not Skywarp. I'm sorry. Shockwave. And well, we all know Shockwave. Shockwave is a Voyager class, and Hasbro thought it would be, they're going to be smart butts and decide to take a Voyager class, slap on a bunch of accessories, and make them a leader class. I did buy them. I do not use the accessory parts. So I put free money in Hasbro's pockets. Now, that's neither here nor there, but I would like to get into a deluxe figure a while back, and this was also like a Target exclusive. Came with Ultra Magnus, which was the Classics Optimus Prime, and as you can tell from the tip of his ears, he's about the same height as these Voyagers. And when you put this deluxe in there, and he towers over that. Now, could we say maybe that's because he was a larger figure in general? Maybe. But the end result for me is that they did shrink the figures, and I'm included to say that the reason why they shrank the figures was they were given a more definition throughout the figure. As you can see with Cyclonus, there's not a whole lot of detail on him. He's pretty smooth, but there again, he was kind of a smooth character in general, but when you look at these guys up close, look at all that detail. Now, I'm not talking about your battle damage, but look at all that. And I mean, really, I like the colors. I even like the battle damage that's on here. Got some battle damage black, white, which probably they wanted to do silver, I guess, but decided white was already in his color scheme. Now, I haven't transformed this figure. I haven't even transformed Starscream, so there's still some things that I haven't done. I'm not even familiar with this figure. This battle damage here, all this darker red, is the exact same battle damage that's on Starscream wings. So you can take a look at it right there. So, which leads you to believe that this is all Tampo style. It's going to be the same damage across if they bring out the Thundercracker and Skywarp, and if they decide to bring out the Rainmakers, it's going to be the exact same battle damage and whatnot. Everything's going to be the same. The other thing I was going to stress is part of the price point is the articulation in their feet. Not all of them have waist articulation, but so far all of them have had, aside from really maybe Ultra Magnus, um, um, ankle articulation, ankle tilts, ankle pivots, whatever you want to call them. They've all had that. Is it worth the price increase? I don't think so, because they had bigger figures in the past with ankle articulation, full ankle articulation in the past. So I don't think it's really worth the extra money. Now, the added detail they did to all these figures and the way that back here you don't have any real hollowness. You got a little bit, but not enough to complain about. And I think that was one of the biggest things over the years that people complained about, was that look how hollow the legs are. Prime example is this guy here. Hollow as sin. 30th Thrilling 30 Jetfire. Nothing but hollowness all over them. So, you know, is it worth the money? I'm saying, yeah, it's worth the money. Should Starscream be this tall? I mean, that depends. The classic line was shorter was maybe a little bit shorter than these, maybe about the same height, and they were a lot cheaper. Does inflation come in factor? Perhaps, but that's a story for another time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get these two guys transformed and do a comparison there, and I'll be right back. All right, and here these guys are in their Buck Rogers mode. As you can tell right here, a little more clearly, at least on the wings, the splatter is basically exactly the same. Let's see if I can raise this up some. All right. So you can't see all of it because it is in a darker red, but there's that, there, all that. Some here, just like over here. But you can tell it's the exact same figure. There's nothing different about it other than right here, this chest piece. Mine does pop off a little bit, but it's mainly because the rest of the hinges attached to here is so stiff. Unlike this one just pops off. I mean, if you look at it wrong. So I'm gonna tell you, I really like these guys. If nothing else, you could always use them in some kind of Buck Rogers theme or something, if nothing else. But I would dead set, the way it seems like they're going to be bringing out a lot more of these guys, a lot more of your obscure seekers, and they're going to be pretty easy to get hold of, you know, for the most part. It's not like they're going to be a big bunch of convention exclusives or something like that. Hasbro Pulse might have some, but they're going to be really easy to get hold of. So I mean, this is a good jumping on point for Transformer collectors. It really is. It seems like the Chug line is really being looked at as a collector's base style figure line, not to the extreme that Masterpiece is, but it's a good solid line to go collect. Um, so um, those are my thoughts. It's my 2 cents, and till next time.